New Year's Eve arrived cold and quiet. Snow lay thick across the ranch. The sky was heavy with clouds. No stars. No celebration. Inside the house, Daniel Harper sat alone at the table. A single lamp burned low. Coffee had gone cold in his cup. He had not planned to stay up. New Year's had never meant much to him. Not since the fire. Not since the silence that followed. Outside, the wind pushed against the walls. The clock ticked toward midnight. Then came a sound that did not belong to the night. A knock. Not loud, not confident. Careful. Daniel froze. Another knock followed, soft, hesitant. He stood slowly and reached for his coat. No one came this far out, not in winter, not with snow like this. He opened the door. A woman stood on the porch. Her coat was thin, her face pale from cold. Snow clung to her hair and lashes. 3 children stood close against her. One clutched her skirt, one leaned heavily against her side. The smallest slept in her arms, wrapped in a worn blanket. For a moment, no one spoke. The wind howled behind them. "I'm sorry," the woman said finally. Her voice trembled. "I didn't know where else to go." Daniel looked at the children. Too quiet, too thin. "You're at the wrong place," he said gently. She shook her head. "No," she whispered. "This is the place." Her knees buckled slightly. She caught herself on the railing. "I just need the night," she said. "Just until morning." Daniel stepped back. The cold rushed into the house. "You'll freeze out here," he said. The woman hesitated. Fear flickered across her face. He opened the door wider. "Come in," he said. The children moved first. Slow, careful. They crossed the threshold like they were afraid the warmth might disappear. The woman followed last. Daniel closed the door behind them. The clock began to chime. 10 minutes to midnight. He looked at the woman and the children standing in his home. And something he thought was long gone stirred in his chest. "It starts with us tonight," he said quietly. "If you are still with me, friend, hit the red button and let's lock in for the rest of the journey. Go get your favorite snack and beverage, we're here for a while. Connecting with you all is the best part. Tell me what time it is for you and which country you're listening from below." The children stood just inside the door, unsure, silent. Daniel set their coats aside, hung them near the stove. "Sit," he said gently. "Please." They did, one by one. The woman remained standing, her arms still wrapped around the smallest child. "You can sit too," Daniel said. She shook her head. "Just for a moment," she said. "I want to make sure they're all right." Daniel nodded. He poured water into a kettle, set it on the stove. The oldest child watched every move, eyes sharp, protective. "What's your name?" Daniel asked him. "Samuel," the boy replied. "And you?" "Lucy," said the girl, barely above a whisper. Daniel smiled. "I'm Daniel," he said. The kettle began to sing. Daniel pulled bread from the cupboard, cut thick slices, laid them on the table. The smell filled the room. The children leaned forward without realizing it. "You can eat," Daniel said. "There's plenty." They looked at their mother. She nodded once. They ate slowly at first, then faster. Daniel set stew on the fire, stirred carefully. The woman finally sat. Her shoulders sagged with exhaustion. "Thank you," she said. Her voice cracked. "You don't owe me anything," Daniel replied. Silence settled, warm, safe. Outside, the wind raged. Inside, the clock ticked closer to midnight. "What's your name?" Daniel asked her. "Evelyn," she said. He nodded. "Where were you headed?" She looked down. "Anywhere but where we were," she said. The stew was ready. Daniel served each child first, then Evelyn. When she tasted it, her eyes closed. "I forgot what warm food feels like," she whispered. Daniel swallowed. At the table, steam rose, hands thawed, breathing slowed. The clock chimed again. 5 minutes to midnight. Daniel looked around the table. He had not shared a meal like this in years. As the children finished eating, their eyes grew heavy. Evelyn gathered them close. Just for tonight, she said softly. Daniel stood. No, he replied. Tonight counts. The fire burned low and steady. Shadows danced along the walls. Lucy slept first, curled against her mother's side. Samuel stayed awake, watching, listening. Daniel brought extra blankets, set them gently over the children. Thank you, Evelyn whispered. Daniel nodded and took a seat across from them. The clock ticked loudly now. 1 minute, Evelyn said softly. The final seconds of the year passed in silence. No cheers, no countdown. Just breathing. Midnight came and went. Daniel added a log to the fire. Happy New Year, he said quietly. Evelyn smiled, tired, real. Happy New Year, she replied. The moment lingered. Samuel finally spoke. Are we staying? He asked. Evelyn's hand tightened around his. Just for tonight, she said again. Daniel leaned forward. You're safe here, he said. No one's coming after you. Evelyn looked up. Fear flickered across her face. Did someone hurt you? Daniel asked gently. She hesitated. We lost their father last spring, she said. After that, everything fell apart. Her voice shook. We moved from place to place. Work never lasted. People stopped opening doors. Daniel listened, did not interrupt. When the money ran out, she continued, I chose the road. Silence followed. The fire popped. Daniel stared into the flames. I lost my family in a fire, he said, years ago. Evelyn's eyes filled. I'm sorry, she whispered. So am I, Daniel replied. They sat together, two strangers bound by loss. Outside, fireworks echoed faintly from town, far away. Inside, the children slept. Daniel stood. You can have the back room, he said. There's a bed. It's warm. Evelyn shook her head. We don't want to take. You're not, he said firmly. She nodded. As she led the children down the hall, she paused. Why are you helping us? She asked. Daniel thought for a moment. Because someone once helped me, he said. She smiled. For the first time that night, the house felt full. Morning arrived quietly. Sunlight crept across the snow, soft, pale. Daniel woke early, as he always did. He stoked the fire, set coffee to brew. For a moment, he forgot. Then he heard it. A child's laugh. He froze. The sound echoed down the hall, light, unafraid. Daniel smiled before he realized he was doing it. In the kitchen doorway, Lucy stood in oversized socks, her hair tangled, her eyes bright. Good morning, she said. Good morning, Daniel replied. She peered into the pot. Is that coffee? He chuckled softly. For grown-ups, he said. Samuel appeared behind her, careful, observant. Evelyn followed last. Her face rested now, less fear in her eyes. Daniel set plates on the table, eggs, bread, warm milk for the children. They sat together. The children ate eagerly, no hesitation. Evelyn watched them, her hands wrapped tightly around her cup. They haven't slept that well in weeks, she said. Daniel nodded. The house has been too quiet, he said. It's nice to hear voices again. After breakfast, Daniel showed them the barn. The horses snorted softly. Steam rose from their breath. Lucy laughed. Samuel asked questions. Evelyn stood back, unsure. Daniel noticed. You don't have to decide anything today, he said. She nodded. I just want to get through today, she replied. Snow crunched under their boots. The ranch stretched wide and open. Evelyn took a deep breath. It feels steady here, she said. Daniel smiled faintly. That's what I hoped, he replied. As the children ran ahead, Evelyn turned to him. If we leave tomorrow, she said, I'll never forget this. Daniel looked at the children, alive, laughing. You don't have to leave tomorrow, he said. She searched his face. What are you offering? She asked. Daniel spoke slowly. Time, he said. Work, if you want it. A place to rest. Evelyn's breath caught. Morning light filled the land. And for the first time in months, tomorrow didn't feel so heavy. They stayed that day, then the next. No promises were made, no plans written down. Just time. Evelyn helped in the kitchen, simple meals, careful movements. Daniel showed Samuel how to stack firewood, how to listen for the wind. Lucy followed everywhere, asking questions, laughing too loudly. The smallest, Emma, slept often, curled near the fire. At night, Evelyn lay awake, listening to the house breathe. She waited for the feeling she knew too well, the one that said it was time to move on. It did not come. On the third morning, Daniel found her on the porch. The sky was gray, quiet. "You're thinking about leaving," he said. She nodded. "I don't want to wear out my welcome," she replied. Daniel leaned against the railing. "You haven't," he said. She hesitated. "I can work," she added quickly. "Clean, cook, anything." Daniel met her eyes. "I wasn't offering charity," he said. "I was offering partnership." The word settled between them. That afternoon, Evelyn took charge of the pantry, organized shelves, counted jars. Daniel watched from the doorway. The house felt different, lived in. Later, Samuel asked quietly, "Are we staying for real?" Evelyn knelt in front of him. "We're staying for now," she said. That night, snow began again. Daniel checked the doors, secured the shutters. By the fire, Evelyn spoke. "I haven't felt this safe since my husband died," she said. Daniel listened. "You don't have to be strong here," he replied. Tears slipped down her cheeks. The fire crackled. Outside, the world grew white. Inside, something fragile and hopeful took root. The letter arrived with the afternoon mail. Daniel found it tucked beneath the gate latch. The envelope was creased. Official. He read it once, then again. Evelyn noticed his stillness. "What is it?" she asked. Daniel handed it to her. Her hands shook as she read. It was from the county office, a notice. They had questions about the children, about her husband's death. Evelyn's breath shortened. "They think I ran," she whispered. Daniel stepped closer. "You didn't," he said. "I left because I had no choice," she replied, "and now they want to take my children." Samuel watched from the doorway, silent, too old for his age. Daniel knelt beside him. "No one is taking anyone," he said. Evelyn looked at Daniel. "You don't have to be part of this," she said. Daniel shook his head. "It started with us," he said. "It stays with us." They sat at the table, paper spread out. Daniel read the notice again. "We'll answer them," he said, "together." That night, Evelyn did not sleep. Daniel sat by the fire, kept watch. Outside, the wind rose. The house held. Whatever was coming, they would not face it alone. The county men arrived 2 days later. A wagon pulled up just after noon. Hooves stopped. Voices murmured. Evelyn stood at the window. Her hands shook. Daniel rested a steady hand on her shoulder. "You're not alone," he said. The knock came firm this time. Official. Daniel opened the door. 2 men stood outside, coats stiff, hats low. "We're here about the children," one said. Daniel stepped aside. "They're inside," he replied calmly. The men entered, eyes scanning. The children sat at the table, clean, fed. Evelyn stood straight. "I'm their mother," she said. The men asked questions, slow, careful. Evelyn answered each one, truthfully. Daniel spoke when needed, about the ranch, about the work. Samuel stepped forward. "We're safe," he said. The room went still. The men exchanged glances. One nodded. "We can see that," he said. They left as quietly as they came. Evelyn sank into a chair. Daniel knelt in front of her. "It's over," he said. She nodded. Tears fell. That night, she slept without fear. Winter loosened its grip slowly. Snow melted along the fence lines. The days grew longer. Life at the ranch settled into a rhythm. Evelyn rose early now, confident, sure. She kept the house running, meals warm, pantry full. Daniel trusted her completely, with the children, with the home. Samuel helped with chores, proud of his strength. Lucy learned to ride, laughing when she fell. Emma took her first steps across the kitchen floor. Daniel watched it all quietly. One evening, he stood beside Evelyn at the stove. "This feels right," he said. She nodded. "I stopped counting days," she replied. Spring arrived. Green pushed through the earth. The ranch bloomed with life. One afternoon, Daniel brought home a small sapling. "For the yard," he said. They planted it together. The children packed the dirt. "Why a tree?" Lucy asked. "So it can grow with us," Daniel replied. That night, Evelyn sat beside him on the porch. "I never thought we'd have this," she said. Daniel looked out across the land. "Neither did I," he replied. The stars shone bright. Family was no longer a word. It was a fact. The question came quietly. No announcement, no warning. Just a moment that would not let go. Daniel stood at the corral, watching Samuel mend a loose rail. The boy worked carefully, confident. Evelyn approached with Emma in her arms. "She's growing fast," Daniel said. Evelyn smiled. "She finally believes she belongs," she replied. The words stayed with him. That evening, after the children were asleep, Daniel spoke. "I've been thinking," he said. Evelyn stiffened slightly. "Old habits, old fear." "I'm listening," she said. "This started as shelter," Daniel continued. "Then help. Then something more." She waited. "I don't want this to be temporary," he said. Silence followed. Evelyn's breath caught. "I can't offer promises lightly," she said. "I've lost too much." Daniel nodded. "So have I," he replied. He reached for her hand. "I'm not asking you to forget," he said. "I'm asking you to choose." Tears filled her eyes. "I choose this," she said. "I choose us." Daniel smiled. The house felt warmer somehow. That night, the wind moved gently through open windows. Nothing was running from them anymore. New Year's Eve came again. 1 full year later. Snow rested lightly on the land, not heavy, not cruel. Inside the house, laughter filled the rooms. Lucy counted down loudly. Samuel tried to hush her. Emma clapped without knowing why. Evelyn stood beside Daniel at the table. Candles glowed. Food warmed. The clock neared midnight. Daniel looked at Evelyn. "Do you remember that night?" he asked. She nodded. "I knocked because I had nothing left," she said. Daniel took her hand. "You knocked because you were brave," he replied. The children gathered close. The final seconds passed. 10, 9. They counted together. When midnight came, Daniel spoke softly. "It started with us that night," he said, "and it keeps starting every day." Evelyn smiled. Outside, distant fireworks colored the sky. Inside, warmth held steady. No fear, no running. Just belonging. Daniel opened the door for a moment. Cold air rushed in. The children laughed. He closed it again. "This is home," he said. Evelyn leaned into him. "Yes," she replied. And for the first time in a long time, the future felt certain. Not because it was easy, but because they would face it together.